File copy. Atiku Abubakar and Bola Tinubu. The Presidency on Wednesday described former Vice-President Atiku Abubakar's comparison of the Tinubu administration to military rule as a willful distortion of history and further slide into senile dementia. Atiku had on Tuesday described the Tinubu-led All Progressives Congress government as the worst administration I have witnessed in nearly 4 decades of political life, claiming it has caused more damage than pre-1999 military regimes. Not even the military dictatorship before 1999 damaged our national life and consciousness in the way this administration has done, Atiku had remarked. The ex-VP spoke in Abuja at the public presentation of a book titled The Loyalist, authored by a former minister and National Publicity Secretary of the African Democratic Congress, Bolaji Abdullahi. Responding on his X handle, Tinubu's special advisor on media and communication, Sunday Dare, accused Atiku of cognitive dissonance, saying his remarks insult the memory of Nigerians who were jailed, exiled, or killed under military decrees. For a man who once occupied the office of vice president under a constitutional democracy, Atiku Abubakar's persistent inability, or refusal, to distinguish between democratic governance and military dictatorship is no longer ironic, it is alarming, Dare wrote. Dare added that Atiku's claims were not a gaffe but a deliberate distortion of history. To sanitize that era simply because he is now a serial electoral loser reveals a conscience corroded by desperation, he said, describing Atiku's statements as reckless and corrosive to Nigeria's democratic legacy. At the book presentation, Atiku argued that the ADC represents a convergence of political forces aimed at rescuing the country from what he described as an unprecedented crisis of governance. He urged Nigerians to build a credible political alternative to salvage the country, lamenting that many of those present at the event were involved in forming the APC but were disappointed by its performance in government. Dare, however, dismissed Atiku's narrative, noting that in the same democratic republic he brands tyrannical, the former vice president moves freely, convenes political meetings, grants interviews, and attacks the government under full constitutional protection. The absurdity of Atiku's dictatorship narrative collapses under minimal scrutiny. For Atiku to sit comfortably in Abuja, shielded by democratic rights, while romanticizing the efficiency of military rule is not dissent, it is cognitive dissonance bordering on historical vandalism, Dare wrote. The presidential spokesman described Atiku as less an elder statesman than a cautionary tale, adding that his rhetoric reflects a personal implosion unfolding in public, rather than a national concern.